you guys are really here for and find out who's actually going to be joining us for the event. So we'll just give it like one more minute and then we'll get going.
I hope I get to go.
Me too.
I hope I get to go.
That's in a different chat.
Fingers crossed. Fingers and toes.
More people on Zoom can do that. Great. I got so many screens around me, I don't know which one to watch.
I know. I'm watching this one because if you look at this, I think we're looking.
Well, this
got-
one's just the chat and what's actually live.
I've got
That one's
Lillian over
yours.
here. I've got one in front of me. I got 4 around me here.
Get more.
All right.
We get our
We're
phones
1
out.
minute
Yeah,
after,
move this so
so
that she doesn't
we're
look
gonna
at it.
go ahead and just get started here. Just so that you guys
audio.
can know who we are. If you have not heard of Epic before and are joining in with us live or watching this later, Epic 4x4 Plus is a nonprofit organization. We are ran out of Colorado. Nathan and I are the founders of the organization, and our mission is to help law enforcement members and first responders and their families, and also to try to bring awareness to the issues that they're facing. So we use our social media platform, primarily Facebook, to help share information as far as what's really going on in the world with our law enforcement members. We have a Facebook group as well, where everybody's able to interact a little bit more. That one we try to keep a little more fun and lighthearted. And then we do 4-day runs during the year. 2 of them are very specific just for our law enforcement and our first responders. And then 2 are open to anybody. And we use those kind of as club fundraiser runs. And then we do 2 big events. Our first one this year will be our Moab event, which stands for Maximum Off-Road Adventures Backing the Blue. Yes, that's a long winded statement. This year it's going to be in Farmington. And then our, nope, Sand Hollow. I'm in Farmington now. I don't know where I'm going to be apparently in March. In March, we will be in Sand Hollow. And then our annual event, which is why we're all joining today to see who's going to get selected to go on that one, is a 4-day, 3-night adventure. We do not share where you're going. We share your starting location. And then we give an approximate distance from end to Denver and Colorado Springs typically, so that you kind of have an idea of where that is. We offer a hotel on the front side as well as the back side as an option. That is an additional cost on top of what the fee that you see is associated with it. I'll tell you both of those pre and post hotel rooms. The first one's just under $100. The one for the end is about $115, I think, off the top of my head. So they're not a huge increase to cost, but there is some increase to cost there if you choose to come before or stay the night after, just to help get you to and from. We typically do start our first day fairly early, normally by 8 o'clock at the latest. We tend to start by, just so that we have time to finish up wrapping any last minute pieces as far as any signatures that are needed to be done, make sure everybody has everything they need, do a driver's meeting, and then we actually start the event. We do have a mandatory meet and greet. We will again offer a Zoom type situation for those if there's for some reason somebody who's not in the area, to at least watch via video, but we do really try to get everybody involved for the meet and greet. 1, it gives a chance for everybody to meet each other. And 2, because you don't know where you're going and we're traveling to a different location every single night, it's really important that we make sure that we stay together and don't lose anybody. So we really work to make sure to get all of those pieces together, make sure everybody really understands what to expect and what we're doing to prevent from there being any issues while we're out there. Anything you guys have to add? Nathan, Kevin, Kim, Jason, David? I've got a shaking of a head from the other two. Oh, David has disappeared into the background of his Jeep.
He's a ghost. We have a lot of fun.
Yes, David and I are the goofballs.
And we meet lots of new friends.
Apparently, David has now gone into outer space.
Can everybody see that?
They'll see it.
Not
They'll
yet.
see it in a few seconds.
Oh my goodness.
Okay. Well, if there's no questions or anything else anybody here has to offer on that front, then I say I'm going to actually share my screen. And let me get up. So here is everybody that has put an application in for the event. And the first selection that we're going to do is of an officer. So one of our officers is going to get the chance to accept a slot that is not having any event fee associated with it. So the fee that's shown online right now for the event, they will not have to pay for. So there's one slot that we're going to give away to an officer. Once that one is selected, we're going to add in all of the names that are here in round 2, as well as anybody who didn't get selected from round 1. And we're going to pick 6 more names. And then anybody that didn't make it into those 2, as well as anybody that went the previous year, so these down here on the bottom, will end up being added in, and we'll pick 5 more names. And that is going to be our total of our 10 people selected. Once we have the list, we're going to, obviously you're going to hear it here, but we will also share it out on our social media who was actually picked. There'll be emails that go out. Ultimately, whoever is selected has 3 days from the time the email goes out to respond to us to accept their position. If we do not get response within that 3-day time period, then we will, it will be forfeited. The spot will be forfeited, and it will go on to whoever's next in line. So we will draw whoever's next in line and get a full list so that we can go down the line to who's next in line if for some reason somebody doesn't accept their position. If we don't hear back and it's getting close to the end of that 3 days, I promise that we do make every effort to make sure that we get a hold of you. If I have you on Facebook and I can find you, I will message you there. I will send you emails. If you have your phone number listed, I will attempt to text or call you. So just know we will attempt multiple outreach in multiple different ways. But you have to respond back within the 3-day time period or you will lose your opportunity to join us. All right, so how this works is we take those names and I throw them into the randomizer here. So I have our 4 officers in the randomizer. It is set that whoever gets picked will have their name removed from the list. It does remove our duplicates. So all I have to do now is I've got 1 person selected and I'm going to click to pick who our random person is. And there we go. David is our officer who got selected for that free position. So I am going to now copy that for myself and so I can share it later. So there we go. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this next group of people and I'm going to copy them. We're going to add them back up here to this here list. I've got 18 names in there, 18 names listed, and we want 6 names this time. And here we go. here are our 6. So we've got Donna, Glenn, Gretchen, Glenn, Travis, and Bruce are all selected. Again, I'm going to do a screenshot real quick.
Lots of new people.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That'll be good.
Yeah, we do have a lot of new
Mhm.
people this year. It's
People out.
great.
Yeah.
And that is the purpose of why we're actually doing this, is to help gain us the ability to share this experience with more people. We started having a lot of waiting list. And while waiting list is great, it was really hard for those that had tried to get in year after year and could never get in, simply because those that knew when and how to fill out the applications fast enough could do so to get selected.
Yeah, it gives everyone an equal opportunity.
Definitely trying to equal the opportunity for everybody. So I added in our remaining applicants. We've got 20 names in there. We've got 5 selected for our remaining 5 that we're going to select here. We are going to click our name. And we've got Nancy, Mike, Kathy, Kurt, and Keith. So that is our rounding out of our participants that
Very nice.
are going to be getting the offer to come through. So what I'm going to do now is, because we almost always have somebody drop out. When I say almost always, I think the only year we
It
did not
happens.
was
It
the
happens.
first year.
Things happen.
And so knowing that we are likely to have somebody at some point drop, and when I say likely to have somebody, we've had on average of 2 to 3 for our events that end up having to drop out for one reason or another. Life happens, right? So I have 15 names that remain on the list. And so I am going to go ahead and I'm going to select all 15 here, and we're going to put them in order, the order that it is done from right to left, as you would read, and it stacks. That is going to be the order in which we would reach out to anybody if there is an opportunity for a slot, or if somebody doesn't choose to select one of these. So here's the remaining here of all of our, those that were on the list, of how we'll reach out to you in the order in which we would do so. So I am going to screenshot that as well. And we will share all of this. Please expect us to be reaching out to you. Lisa, I agree. I am very excited to be able to share this with some new people. As much as we absolutely love having our repeats, and trust me, we really do. Those of you that have joined us before know that we kind of become this little family. And the more that we have time to share with each other, whether it's on social media or out on the trails together, we really do start becoming a really close-knit family. So, as much as it hurts us to not have some of you that have gone with us in the past be able to go with us again, it also excites us to be able to get some other people that haven't had a chance to experience to be able to go with us and really join our family and connect with us in a way we haven't been able to in the past. So,
And if you're on the waiting list, if you can keep your options open, you still have a chance.
so I always say, they have this group of people have 3 days in which to respond to us. In the event that they don't respond, we're going to immediately start reaching out to those that are next on the list. So the soonest that some of you could potentially hear is within that 3-day time period. I would say we try to have everybody committed really well by the 60-day mark. But there are sometimes some very last minute drops that occur. So I can't even say that after 60 days that we're not gonna have somebody drop. The only thing that I didn't do that I do want to do real quick is I'm going to take these last 3 officers here that did not get selected. And in the event that our officer that won that position is unable to take that slot, or forfeits that slot, I'm going to put these last 3 officers in order. And so what will happen is, in the event that that spot becomes available, you guys will get that opportunity to take that position. If that position ends up not being able to be filled by an officer, it will become a paid slot and go to somebody on the waiting list. So that the funds that were collected for an officer to be able to go, in the event that we can't have an officer fill that spot for free, that money just ultimately ends up going to our mission at the end of the year, which will go to MC1 for sure. And then if we have a really good year like we did this year, we'll look at potentially splitting it and having it go to Colorado Cops organization as well. We really thought that was important for our donation for 2021 to split with how many officers we lost. Unfortunately, in the line of duty in Colorado, we really want to be able to help not only those that were injured in the line of duty, but those that unfortunately lost an officer, both our family members as well as our agencies that lost. So Colorado Cops is a really great organization to help with that. So I think that about does it, unless any of the other 5 of you have anything to add.
No, it'll be fun.
Congratulations, everybody that made it.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It'll be
It's
fun.
gonna be fun.
Looking forward to it.
Oh, do you want to tell them
Oh,
what the
Oh.
theme
so
is?
every year, I'm gonna stop sharing my screen. Well, that way you guys can see us better. So every year, our annual event has a theme. Year 1 was mountain passes. Year 2,
Fire and Ice,
fire and ice. Year 3,
mining and history,
mining and history. And year 4,
be the off-road games.
so just know that with this one, we've got a bunch of different games and activities that are all kind of around, kind of think X game type theme of the year, but we're off-road games because we're not gonna
And
steal
and
their.
some things, like every year, aren't off-road related. We always bring in some kind of fun night that has nothing to do with off-road.
Just to spice it up.
Yeah, so we've done an adventure park. We've done a boat ride. We've done a cave, mine tour. And so I will share that it will be a fun one this year, but
Yep.
Maybe competitive.
definitely on the competitive side that fits in with the Jeep Games off-road games theme. So be ready for that.
You can't tell.
The only other thing I'll mention is that we do use some roads to get to and from locations to make ground so that we can make sure that we're being able to provide as many and as great of opportunities for trails. So there are times that we're going to be airing up and airing down. We try to not air up or air down more than once in a day. But there are some days that we won't be able to stay aired down to roll into the next day. And there's some that we will. But you'll all learn more about that when we do our meet and greet. The meet and greet is July 23rd. If somebody hands me my phone, I can verify
I don't have
that.
my calendar either.
Thank you, Lillian. Yes, meet and greet. July 23rd is going to be the meet and greet. So
You wanna
just be ready for that.
Don't want to mention yet about the meet and greet, what we're doing at it versus times past.
Yeah, our meet and greet this year, we are planning to have so every year we do some kind of a recovery type class. And then the recovery class that you go to then leads into a challenge, typically a team challenge, for you to then use those skills at a later date, to test your knowledge that you learned, and also to kind of have them, if you use that knowledge, it sticks. So it helps you to gain that as well. And so it becomes another fun challenge, fits into our off-road games that we're talking about. But we're going to do the class in the meet and greet versus on the trail this year.
Perfect.
All right, guys. I think that about sums it up.
Does anyone have any questions?
Yeah, I mean, we're checking the chat. I'm not seeing any questions right now. Let me know if anybody has questions. You can certainly reach out to us on our email, which is Epic BOD, so stands for Epic Board of Directors. So, and then it's at epic4x4quest.com. So you can certainly reach us there. You can find that on our website, just www.epic4x4quest.com. You can find our email, our phone number, all listed there up at the top of the screen. So feel free to reach out to us in any shape, form, or fashion along those lines if you have any questions. We're always happy to answer. Several of you know how to find us all in multiple other ways, including on Facebook, and some of you may have our phone numbers or otherwise to reach us. So no, you can always reach out to any one of us at any time. Jason has willingly taken on the deferment of most of those communications. So just know that while I have previously been the primary person taking a lot of those communications, if you start seeing them from Jason, just know he's taking that role on at this point. So feel free to message him directly, or just know that I will add him on to any email chains or forward anything along to him. All right, guys, on that note, we appreciate you all. We greatly, the support that you guys give us is greatly appreciated. We really could not do what we do without you joining our events, joining these live feeds, joining our social media platforms. All of it matters, and all of it makes a huge difference. Doesn't matter how you help us, how you support us, how you choose to donate. It all helps. For those of you that have not seen our post, we raised a little over $1,300 to give to 13,000. Yes, that's right. 13,000. I went back to year one.
Yeah.
So a little over 13,000 to donate out to MC1 and COPS this year. So amazing. And again, we can't do it without you. We wouldn't want to do it without you. And we really greatly appreciate you. And on that note, you guys have a very blessed night, and take care.